Hi guys, it's my pleasure to have two stalwarts from TA to Every, Rohit and Rahul. Both of them come with a very strong background and they are a esteemed speaker for ATA GTR 2024. This is the ninth edition of the conference. And this year's theme is unique, navigate the next, efficiency and productivity in new age technologies. Before we begin asking them about their topic, I would really request them to give a quick background to the audience. Okay, so over to you, Rahul, first, and then Rohit can introduce himself. Would that be okay, Rahul?
Sure. And thanks for having us, Aditya. Okay, I'm Rahul Kawadkar. We will be meeting you on 17th of November at ATA GTR. I have about 10 years of work ex. Most of it has been in product strategy operations, IT operations. And my interest in utilizing the power of AI in order to increase our productivity and efficiency has been something that has been on my mind for quite some time. We will be talking more on this in our session and going ahead in this call as well. But I can assure you that it would be something I haven't seen before.
Yes, we do agree with that, Rahul. So, yes, but before we get into that, Rohit, can we hear more about you as well, please?
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. I'm Rohit Kamble. I'm working as Agile Project Manager in Theory. I've been working with Theory since a couple of years now, and main experience in Agile way of working, where I'm more working with teams in different Agile frameworks, where my main focus is on self-management and risk assessment. And recently we have started with prompt engineering, where we are looking more into the increasing productivity and efficiency so that we can deliver product faster to the customer.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. So what I was saying is this is really excellent. Thanks, Rohit, for that. The whole thing about the topic that they are delivering on 17th, which is basically the second day of the conference, is all about basically harnessing generative AI for unmatched productivity. So the topic goes like this: unlocking efficiency, harnessing generative AI for unmatched productivity. So if you can throw little light, it would be wonderful. Don't give too much insights, but little insight for people to understand, and then I would recommend this session to everybody. So over to you guys, Rahul and Ro. Yeah.
Sure. What we'll do is probably I can start with, I can give a context, can start a bit, and then Rohit can of course take ahead the other part of it. The thought process for this is usually in the entire software, the process of creating latest softwares, right? All of that involves multiple stages. What we have done is we have divided it into 4 and 5 stages. And in each stage, we have identified what are the areas where efficiency goes down and it is not caught. For example, if you can see that the first stage that we think about when creating softwares is there is a product manager or there is an idea of a product that this is something that we can do to increase our revenues or have a product which addresses most of the pain points of consumers, or simply for having better engagement with our product. Any kind of feature when it is in the inception stage, right from that stage, when we go ahead to having it completely prepared on the product management level, and then after that having the designs and requirements coming down to the product owner level, and then after that all of that trickling into technical requirements when it goes to the engineers. In each of these phases, you will find that there are a lot of inefficiencies. A lot of times the information doesn't get passed from point A to point B the way it should be. Because honestly, product managers are people who think from a product design perspective, and engineers are someone who thinks from a solutioning perspective. And this is where the problem of perspective and detailing comes in. And because of that, there is a lot of to and fro. There is a lot of to and fro, and a lot of times we talk about agile, that it is an iterative process. But the iteration becomes too much because a lot of times we keep getting clarity on both ends. So what we have tried is, and this is stage 1, by the way. This is stage 1. Then the phase 2 is about development, then testing, and then about delivery as well. So I am talking about the first part where we will be using AI to make sure that the quality of all these documents, all these requirements is top notch with minimal effort. So your turnaround time drastically reduces and your quality increases uh, greatly. So this is what is a brief insight about what it is about. Of course, Rohit will talk about the real thing about development and testing. And you would be surprised to know there is actually a very good use case for UI UX designers as well. And I'm not talking about just from the UX designers perspective, even developers can now see what they're developing, right? From the, let's say they get a requirement, they can just throw in something to get the visual understanding of what it will look like so that they can develop it faster and better and not eat up times from product managers and product owners. But yes, that is a brief about it. Over to you, Rohit.
Yeah. Over to you, Rohit. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul. So, as Rahul mentioned, that when the requirement comes into the development phase, so there are many challenges. Sometimes there is ambiguity in the requirements. The requirements are not clear. So, with the help of generative AI, we are trying to make it more clear when it comes to the development phase. When we start with the development, there is always a chance of complexity. And because of that unidentified complexity during the development, our development cycle becomes linear. So to overcome that challenge, we use the Gen AI to minimize those challenges in such a way that whenever the requirement comes into the development phase, we get maximum clarity with the requirements with other aspects such as security aspect. So security aspects many times it comes later in the later phases. So with the Gen AI, we are shifting left that approach so that during the requirement itself we are covering security aspects, NFRs, all those kind of requirements where we can have a lesser turnaround time. Similarly, when we are writing a code, there is always an inconsistency between the quality, code quality, because we do have like coding guidelines, but many times it happens every brain is different and the way of writing code is also different. So because of that, maintainability becomes a challenge. Readability becomes a challenge. So with the help of Gen AI, we are trying to minimize it in such a way that across entire development level, we have a consistent code with respect to maintainability, readability, as well as CO2 emissions, where we as a TFWRI strongly believe and follow to minimize the CO2 emissions. So all these aspects also being covered during our development phase. Once the development phase is done, we wait for the testing phase. Now, in the testing phase, the main challenge is number of bugs that we get during the testing. And the turnaround time is more. So again, here shift left approach. So during the requirement itself, we are trying to minimize the gap where we can identify potential risk, potential bugs in the requirement itself, so that when it comes from development to testing, we will have the critical or high severity bug possibilities are lesser. And once the testing is done, we are having a minimum critical and minimum high severity bugs. Along with that, when it comes to the test data, it is again a challenge because not everything is possible to cover in the test data phase. So with the help of generative AI, we are also shifting it left. So during the requirement, when it comes to the development requirement phase itself, we are also covering what test data that we should have, considering our domain, considering the persona and the application behavior, so that we have a lesser and lesser quality issues coming up in the later phases. So this is how we have thought about it, implemented it, and with the help of the implementation, the numbers are really promising because we are now able to minimize or achieve, I would say, minimize the manual efforts by having Gen AI in place. So in the development, around 40% of reduction that we have seen. In the testing, we have around 60% of manual efforts that we have seen reduced. So this is how the overall development life cycle time taken has been reduced around 20 to 60% overall.
Guys, this is amazing. Look, what we're talking about is the end-to-end development life cycle, that too being done in an agile manner. And what we are trying to see and get this out from this wonderful session would be, how do you get unmatched productivity and efficiency? harnessing all of that using Gen AI. And both of them are going to cover all of that. So I don't want to go too much into detail of the topic. And obviously, we want to know more about you as persons, as human beings. So if you can let us know what drives you, what is your passion, other than work, other than technology, other than testing, right? What exactly is your passion, Rahul, and what drives you, Rohit, right? So one by one, if you can also let our audience know more about yourself, please. That would be really nice.
Okay. Well, apart from work, I usually have a liking towards engaging with people in all forms. So it is not restricted to a particular activity. It is as diverse as having counseling. I provide career counseling, life counseling. Apart from that, I'm involved in most of the community works that are happening in my societies. Um, any kind of gathering you can think about. Latest is something that I am got into a passion for fitness, and probably you will see it after a year or so. Not right now, but that is something that is on my mind right now. But yeah, you can anybody who will be an audience can be catching up with me, and I would be loving to spending time with them. Yeah.
Very nice. And you are looking fit, Rahul, already. So 1 year more efficient, more productive, Rahul, we will see in the next conference, maybe. Yeah, but we're looking forward to interacting more on that, Rahul. So over to you, Rohit.
Yeah. So apart from work, I again jumped into the fitness. So at least I started my fitness journey from last year, I guess, after the COVID, and proudly say that I've reduced 10 kilos, and that is what I am liking, and that is what driving me to be fit and pushing myself into the gym whenever I get time. So and then when spending time in the gym gives me a lot of thoughts with respect to family, with respect to product, with respect to job, so that what are the problem statements that I'm facing, what could be the solution to it. So all those thoughts, thinking, everything happens during the gym. So spending 1.5 hours is very productive for me, and yeah, that is driving me from last year.
So guys, look, we are not only seeing productivity and efficiency using Gen AI, but we have real examples of both Rohit and Rahul becoming little more efficient of themselves by being more fitter, and they're inspiring us. So on this note, my real thank you so much for both of you to spend time with us, and it was really wonderful to know you and to interact with you. Looking forward for your session, and I would recommend everybody to attend this session also in the virtual conference. Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Aditya. We are looking forward. Last year as well, we were associated with the GTR, and this year as well. You guys, I will be looking forward to meeting and interacting with other speakers also over there and the audience. Our leaders, Via Tandon and Ashutosh Bhatnagar, will also be key speakers in the event. And yeah, please look forward. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to not only thank them, but TA2 Every, because they are our exclusive partners. So again, many thanks to you and many thanks to TA2 Every for helping us basically get such wonderful speakers as well. And many thanks once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Some great
Thank you.
Thank you.